Madam Speaker, this morning I had a conversation with the Commissioner General of the Uganda Prison Service to find out the current situation of Colonel Kizza Besigye. He told me the following. As of today, Colonel Kizza Besigye has been on hunger strike for 6 days. This is his 7th day. He is only taking water. He's not eating any food. The Commissioner General informed me that because of the hunger strike, his health has deteriorated, and therefore he had to be evacuated to a hospital. His personal doctor took charge of the evacuation in the presence of Colonel Besigye's sister, Dr. Olive Kobusinje. It's not appropriate for me to report details of what was found. This is a part of the doctor-patient confidentiality. But the Commissioner General said definitely his health condition is alarming. Under all the laws of Uganda, any person, especially those who are having health issues, are entitled to treatment. And in this case, the prison authorities were able to take him to the hospital. Comprehensive tests were carried out, and the doctors are managing him. The Commissioner General also informed me that Colonel Kizza Besigye has continued and continues with the hunger strike. And that means, of course, that any medical response will not have a major impact. He will not improve because of the hunger strike. Now, concerning your other question about the advice, the laws, what steps we have taken, how long it will take to transfer the files, I wish to report the following.
Honorable Minister, just on hunger strike. He's not on hunger strike because he loves to be on hunger strike. He is on hunger strike because he believes he is unfairly treated. He is on unfair trial.
Madam Speaker, hunger strike is a form of protest, and I accept what you have stated. He is protesting through hunger strike. All through history, prisoners who feel that they are being unjustly incarcerated have resorted to hunger strike. So, but it is not my purpose to go into detail why he's on hunger strike. I simply reported his condition, and we admit that it is alarming. Now, permit me, Madam Speaker, to respond to...
As a legal advisor to government, after knowing that his condition, his situation is alarming, what advice have you given government to that effect?
Madam Speaker, that is what I'm coming to, because you gave me a set of questions, and I would like us to go through the chronology of what we have done. The judgment was delivered on 31st January, which was a Friday. Immediately on Monday, Madam Speaker, the Attorney General wrote to the Ministry of Defense and the DPP. That is the very next working day after the judgment. The Attorney General wrote informing them that the cases should now be transferred. On the 3rd, the very same day, the Attorney General also wrote to the Chief Justice asking the Chief Justice to appoint a judicial officer to be in charge of liaison concerning the transfer, who should liaise between all the actors. That is the first working day after the judgment. On the 4th of February, the Chief Justice wrote back appointing the principal judge as the liaison officer. That is the second working day after the judgment. On the 6th of February, the Attorney General's chambers forwarded the letter of the Chief Justice to the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs and to the DPP. Around that time, Madam Speaker, we were here and I came to the floor and stated that it is the duty of Colonel Besigye'S lawyers and the lawyers of all those who are in the court-martial to extract a decree that is part of their responsibility to their client. This decree only arrived on the 13th of February, almost 2 weeks after the judgment. That is when we received the draft decree. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, the draft decree had errors. Some of the errors were as obvious as wrong names, for instance. On the 14th of February, that is last Friday, the Attorney General's chambers corrected...
Do you have a copy of the decree which was extracted?
Madam Speaker, the errors were corrected and the corrected decree was sent to the lawyers of Colonel Besigye. We have not yet received the corrected decree. If we have received it as of now, we corrected it from the Ministry of Justice. We are concerned by the slow pace of Colonel Besigye'S lawyers. I have stated the chronology. You cannot take 2 weeks. If really you are concerned about the condition of your client, rather than the politics surrounding that, they should have acted as fast as Attorney General's chambers.
Honorable Norbert Mao, help us to help you. That's why I was asking you, do you have the wrong copy of the decree, so that we shall not take the blame to who? To the lawyers.
Madam Speaker, I have here on my phone, which I can forward, a letter dated February 14th, sending back the corrected decree. I can forward it.
That was sending back. When did it come?
The decree came on the 13th. The very next day, it was sent back. That's how fast we are, Madam Speaker. We have done our job, but those who have chosen to politic rather than take responsibility for the fate of their client are now playing victim. That is unfair, Madam Speaker.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mao, the bureaucracy in addressing the directive of the Supreme Court should not be a ground of delaying in dispensation of this for somebody to get justice. Okay, if they delayed it to bring that, have you brought the amendment that they told you to bring? Or is it we, the members of parliament, who have delayed? Huh? And must you continue holding the suspects outside the law just because of the bureaucracy? Because they are not tried, they are on a pre-trial. They are not on remand.
Madam Speaker, I am on record, and on the day that the new law year was opened, I addressed the members of the judiciary and I appealed to them to prioritize matters of the liberty of citizens. I am as concerned about the liberty of citizens as any of us in this chamber. I am only reporting that a lawyer who has got a duty to a client would have acted very quickly instead of waiting almost 2 weeks before extracting the decree. It is the duty of a lawyer to extract a decree rather than spending time politicking.
Honorable Norbert Mao, we do not discuss about people who are not in the house. So what you have said about the lawyer, you should retract it. Because he's not in the house. I am the custodian of the law. Here, withdraw.
Madam Speaker, I respectfully withdraw. The copy of the decree is coming. I do not know whether I can now talk about my conversation with the chairman of the General Court Martial, the director of prosecution. Oh, I shouldn't talk about
just
anybody.
Just a minute, Chairman. Just a minute, Chairman. Chairman, you say the decree is coming? Yes. In how many minutes?
Madam Speaker, we are just across the road. We believe in less than 10 minutes it will be here.
Okay. So we'll wait for it in 10 minutes so you can continue with other questions.
Madam Speaker, the Deputy Attorney General has already instructed our office to forward all the letters, all the correspondences I've referred to. And they include the 3rd February letter to Ministry of Defense and DPP, and the letter to the Chief Justice to appoint a liaison contact. Then the 6th February letter, which forwarded the CJ's letter to the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs and the DPP, and the 14th February letter, which is also coming, but which I have a soft copy, where we corrected the decree and sent it back to the lawyers.
Now, you're answering my number 5 of my question. Number 1 was, how, as legal advisors of government, what appropriate advice have you given for the continued pre-trial on detention of an ailing, and here I'm saying ailing, Dr. Besigye?
Madam Speaker, in that situation, the suspect would be produced before the appropriate court, in this case the High Court, and granted bail.
Has the file been transferred from court martial to the civil court, civilian court, to the civilian court?
Madam Speaker, I have spoken to the chairman of the General Court Martial, who instructed the director of prosecutions of the court martial who I also spoke to, and all that they are waiting for their file is this decree, which now we have. But we deny any responsibility for the late extraction of the decree.